Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. As usual, as soon as we start this program, you have the power to pick up your telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything. Politics, religion, socioeconomic issues, any issue trending. And you could even interrupt us and change the subject matter. We are 91.9, that's Real FM. We are on YouTube, Facebook. We encourage you to like and share the program. Please do that. As you touch the button, share our program, like and subscribe to Real FM. That is extremely beneficial to our program. We always, I always believe that we could solve our problems. We could come together, hold discussion among issues, and solve the problem we have. This government came into power, and this government introduced something I've heard for the first time in politics in Grenada: advisory lead. So in agriculture, I believe they had about 10 or 11 persons to advise the minister. Well, they couldn't call it an advisor. So they say it's an advisory lead or something like that. One would expect with these cadre intellectuals and experts, they would have developed a comprehensive white paper so the minister could follow. The minister himself is no stranger to agriculture, but I am very suspicious about the National Democratic Congress and agriculture. Why am I suspicious? You see, every time the National Democratic Congress in power, agriculture is worse off. They like to talk big. They like to make big statements. And they could baffle you with the eloquence. But when you examine what they do, it is counterproductive to agriculture. So when they come up with this advisory lead, I thought, give them a chance. Maybe this time they might do something better. But I believe that this advisory lead was a sham. I doubt if they sat down and had one meeting at all. Maybe they just choose these people to give them money or reward them for political activities. Because this approach to agriculture is not encouraging. I heard the Minister of Agriculture describe people involved in predial larceny as lunatics and idiots. The police said that predial larceny is only 3% of the crimes in the country. So it means a lot of inroad have been made in Grenada in reducing the incidence of predial larceny. The Minister of Agriculture called them lunatics and idiots. And his recommendation, it seems, long jail sentences. Now, what is it the government has done for agriculture so far? Cultureman, give us a call. He's an important man when we're talking about agriculture. Give us a call, agricultureman. Tell us, what do you think that the government, are you worried? Are you satisfied? Are you baffled by the government action? Now the government closed down marketing board and opened the back door in marketing board. That looks so indecisive as a group of people that don't know what they're about. The government fired 30 people from Grand Bar's estate. You know what is interesting? The minister and the permanent secretary visited the estate, complimented the workers, big them up for their productivity, their good work, targeted the estate as a potential for growing weed, excited the workers. One of the workers spoke to me. He said, they will increase with money on the estate because just now we go be planting weed. And he like it weed too. And then the government fired 30 workers. The government refused to hold a meeting with the source of exporters, and the actions of the government vis-a-vis pest management is tantamount to sabotage of the source of industry. I have not heard anybody give explanation, justification, rationale why the government takes this action. And I've been going after them. You know. My partner in St. Patrick's has I've been going after somebody who teaches a justification. They don't know. Some of them hiding from it. When they came in, they was fighting to plant spice. Well, anybody that's involved in agriculture have knowledge of spice time to plant. Because spice is not tomatoes or cabbage, lettuce that you could grow in a week or more. Introduce it, peasant estate. And the government want to plant spice. Well, why not plant 20, 30 acres of spice in each of these estates? What the government do there is not making sense. The Maribo, Ashenden, and Maran station normally produce spice based upon the demand from farmers. So it's the same demand the government using and perhaps subsidizing it back to the farmers. No, we have to do better. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Don't expect any dramatic thing in agriculture. We export cocoa, nutmeg, fish, and saucer. That is the four main principal products we export for Grenada. So any wise government that come in power and establish an advisory lead of 11, 12 export, if they sat down and had one meeting, and I don't believe they had no meeting at all, this group of people never met. I don't believe they met. They would have known that we have to put some emphasis on fish, particularly storage, because we have the market. Harvesting practice, husbandry, and export. We have to ensure that we produce more saucer because we cannot satisfy the market we have. Grenada is the only country, I believe, in the region that can export fresh saucer to the U.S. market. Government had to be dumb twice not to make maximum use of that opportunity. Anytime Mexico is able to do it, our sauce-up industry would fail. Once Mexico could export fresh sauce-up to the US market, they could get a jumbo jet. The price of sauce-up on the US market now is all of that market. Now I want a logical person, not a bright person. A lot of intelligent people don't have no sense. They lack the ability to practicalize their certification. To explain to us, why is it after 1 year the government has refused to have a meeting with the sauce-up exporters? Why is it the government is not putting some emphasis on showing greater transport space and capacity for sauce-up growers? Why is it the government action in the eyes of many farmers is tantamount to sabotaging the sauce-up industry? Why the minister is so silent? And Dr. Bob, you is one of the selected journalists that maybe the government has identified. Go and ask them these things. You all can expect to walk around claiming every little poke or every little blight or every little advertisement you all get from the government, and then you all hiding when all you're supposed to ask questions. What is the government doing for agriculture? There is over 50 other crops that we can export to the US market, but we don't have. So the exporters of sauce-up sometimes sell some bread nut, but we don't have bread nut. Just a few. Sugar apple, but just a few we have. Mammy apple. The United States of America market is available for Grenada to export over 50 to 60 different products. Our main one is sauce-up. But Grenada must make maximum use of it. We can supply the flowers industry, and we have a greater capacity if we invest in it. What the government of Grenada is doing. I ask this question, and I make this statement to provoke discussion among the government ministers. The National Democratic Congress was in the wilderness for about 10 years. They had enough time to think, to plan, to come up with position. They squander that opportunity they was in opposition in planning to victimize people and introduce restorative justice under the misguides of transformation. There is nothing to seriously transform in agriculture. What we have to do is to build on the base that is already established. We have to have the nutmeg industry to be more efficient. Agriculture as an essential service. The Nutmeg Association could do better. The Cocoa Association could do much better. The fishing industry need more assistance. Government is supposed to identify what are the 3, 4 main issues preventing us from action. The best people to take the initiative is government. Plant 50 acres of sauce up in Grand Bay Estate. Plant sauce up in Mount Rule. Now, what is the government plan? Culture man, give me a call. Tell us. Do you satisfy? I know you continue to be counterproductive to agriculture. I say this based upon the background of the NDC. I don't want them do stupidness. The last time they cut down Belvedere nutmeg and they plant banana. They dig up the lake. Although they were advising you maybe 2 years to have the amount. We know organic. All of Belvedere and banana was the worst ever thing in Grenada. And so many of the agricultural czars are quiet as a lamb. All of a sudden, they lost their tongue. Now, it is true that agriculture is not as significant in terms of the GDP as before. But that is so in almost all Caribbean countries. Not Grenada alone. Almost all Caribbean countries. The government always boasts and criticizes everything other government has done. But every time, the National Democratic Congress comes into power, they do more damage to the agriculture sector than before. Yes, I was calling EOO. Farmers can get a session to purchase now because it's OEO. The labor support program was a year instance for more destructive to the agriculture. I believe we have a right to remind them that they could do better, that they have to do better. It means that the advisory lead was a sham. I know some of the individuals who was the have the.
Good day, sir.
Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yes, good program. I, on the behalf of myself and some other friends of the community, we want to congratulate you and Red FM for your information, because I realize that when people listen to your program, they knowing what is going on in this country. Now, when things not going well, you say things not going well. So this type of program really. No. The men don't want to mix concrete, they want to hide that. That is a plus. That may of laborers and masons. You, I don't know if you ever draw to your attention.
Yeah, my brother. Thank you. Thank you. We will always have these shortage in the construction industry of skilled men. And when you have a government and they introduce restorative justice and they start to fire people, a number of people would leave the country. A number of skilled people would leave the country. Very early, I was speaking about a woman who told me that her boyfriend planned, who believe they are targeted for prosecution, political prosecution. Some of the boys will be making for foreign land. So you will have more brain drain. There are a lot of people in the country who believe I won't get a scholarship. My son did well in exam, but you were able to get a job. You get scholarship. So we will continue to have these shortage in skills. While that is taking place, the productivity level in the schools are going to drop. I don't believe productivity level in the school will increase. Drop. For mobilize, they have Ministry of Information. Almost all the ministries have somebody responsible for information. Political party needs mobilization. In some countries, and where you take over in coup d'etat, you set up mobilization to hunt down counter-revolutionaries, enemies. So the MIT ministry, the mobilization aspect of the department is acting to hunt down people who they believe does not support them. That is why was advised who are the public officers, teacher officers, and police officers that attend NNP meeting. That is the reason asked to give the information public, like the sister Nyan that gave her name and her telephone number. Some of the children saying not to do it. I involved in the caregiving program, I will lose my job. I'm an Imani, I'm going to lose my job. I have a work with security, I'm going to lose my job. You remember the issue recently, teachers complained that they wanted to introduce education about alternative sexual lifestyle. Some people was asking to identify who the teachers are. That is the purpose of the M in MIT. I believe there is need for 1 and 2 persons to be involved in implementation. These people you have to select individuals who are knowledgeable about the public service and who are cognizant of the rules and regulation of the public service. No little upstart can go and try to manhandle the public. The Prime Minister said it is not transfer, it's going to create frack. Plain effect of the government policies on the ground. It is not in our interest. It is counterproductive. And the government should understand that. Look at the Minister of Education action. Although I don't want to waste time talking about him because I don't think he can make any impact in education to improve productivity. But look at his arrogant attitude. When the teachers, the president of the teachers union, chastised the government for trying to sneak in policies about sexual alternative lifestyle. And give us a call. Agriculture affects us. When the government take action that is counterproductive, the country is not moving forward. Agriculture would not be moving forward. Because of economy of scale, our agriculture is already weak. It's difficult to export certain crops because of the quantity we have in it. But we could be more self-sufficient. And because we are exporting sauersup, there are a lot of other products we can support. So government have to look at the sauersup industry trade. Yes, scholar, welcome. Yes, scholar, welcome. Well, seems we lost that color. Trump, the trade, the plane. And at the same time, goes to go there, but 60 up the market. And you look at some that can be tried, sugar, on land that is not so. Mammy apple, you go concentrate on that. I know food sense spice. I don't think spice is one of the product you could this doing about this in our country. But government could help increase the production of CMOS. And not only the production, but also encourage greater consumption of CMOS in the country. Yes, scholar, welcome. Yes, scholar. All right, this scholar must be having some challenge with the phone. So try again. You must be calling. You there? Yes. So the CMOS industry, government could look at it. What happens if one farmer could grow 10,000 pounds of CMOS a year? I understand every 2 months you can harvest CMOS. And even bad weather, you can just pressure to your crop. So these products, Grenada could improve in it. But you can't ever miss joining the directors and the prince of hate, calling people lunatics. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Welcome, brother, welcome.
I've noticed the problem we are encountering in getting people to walk. People have lands all about and they need people to walk the land. They are not dependent on government to pay these people, but it is so difficult to get someone to walk your land for you. When you ask them all kind of excuses, and if they come to walk for you, they do 1 hour walk and tell you about that is how they walk in the road. They would go 6, and by the time 7, but there should be a basis where agricultural workers' law is not right. Could we organize something where people to be government to train people or agricultural workers to train people to do a good job? Because jobs are available, we cannot get the people to work the land for us. So I wish we could do something about that from the perspective where the people would walk the lands, they get their pay, you pay the NIS for them. For example, somebody walking with you, you make sure you get them, but it must when they teach, as soon as
that's a very important point that you made. Antigua, St. Kitts and Nevis, Tortola, St. Croix, and Bermuda, a number of these islands develop. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome.
Your reception is. We are getting that reception really bad today.
What area are you
I'm
calling
watching on
from?
Facebook. Huh?
What area are you from?
I'm in St. Paul's.
Okay. And you try
I'm watching
the
on Facebook. So.
9. Oh, you're on Facebook. Yeah. All right.
Huh?
Okay. Well, we'll try and yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. So you see, these islands developed because they were more tolerant to immigrants. Grenada is not tolerant to immigrants. We need about 20,000, open our doors for Haitians and Venezuelans. Trinidad did it. Remember, when the British overrun the French in Grenada, over 10,000 Grenadians went to Trinidad. During the Federal Rebellion, when some of Federal generals was hanged in the market square, over 10,000 Grenadians run in Trinidad. During the Gary period, when we had a lot of upheaval, Grenadians run in Trinidad. The revolution locked up 3,000 Grenadians without charge, without trial, without an opportunity to defend themselves. About 4,000 Grenadians run in Trinidad. Based upon this government now, restorative justice policy, over 3,000 people have lost their job, and a number of people are sneaking out of the country and going in foreign land. The government is dumb twice. As soon as the government reach, the government start to attack minimum wage. And the government only discussing the minimum wage as a subterfuge, as an excuse to raise more money for themselves. That's why they're doing it. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hey, good day, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Mr. Pierre,
Yes, my brother, welcome.
you really complain about people who want to work and all that. And she don't lie, you know. The NMP spoil them people and them, all the people and them want to work. When you go work, you want to work 1 hour and you want $70. Cadet Joseph and them introduce a pay and grade system where that if you pay them people $10 an hour, you make 1 hour, you get $10. You make 2 hours, you get $20. That's the way to go. If they want to come and work for 2 hours and want to get $70, none of that. You work for 2 hours, you get 2 hours pay. And I quite agree that when the NMP bring them people and them, all they give them is the bushing. Listen to me, Mr. P. This NMP government is the worst government of passing visa. And I could tell that from fact. The NMP government, they sell the national board of this country. For $20 million.
Always plead with you when you're making this claim. You know, and I take the point that you make, and one could argue that the NBC has against caller.
National government, the national
caller, what you say? Let me tell you why it's not true. Let me tell you why it's not true. Make money. As you all advocate, let them starve, let them pound stone in the river. That is one of the reasons we have a downturn in the economy. Ask any businessman, and don't ask an NDC businessman. You understand that, caller? Ask a NDC businessman.
You don't want to work, you don't get paid. I don't give you no fee money. You work 1 hour, I give you 1 hour pay. You work 2 hours, I give 2 hours pay. You don't come and make our one demand certain amount of money. I said no to that. Mr. Pierre, the this NMP government, they sell the whole amount of Manhattan. What they do with the money? They take it and give people to go and squander. They sell.
See what we know. If you want, the NNP is not in power. They were rejected in the polls. The National Democratic Congress is in power. And sometimes I would like you to defend what the NDC is doing. But we have to be careful with you. I'll not, yeah. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller.
You're coming in very break up. You're not coming in clear at all.
Okay.
When you're speaking, you're hearing off and on, off and on.
On the Facebook?
What happened? I'm calling from Calif.
Okay. That's on the radio?
And my cell phone.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you're coming bad.
All right, so I don't know what, okay, we'll try to see how we could correct that. Okay, thank you. Yes, so the issue is, I was giving some reasons why we have the challenge with labor. You have a number of areas, people who wants to employ them in a job, employing them full time. So you want to employ somebody for 2 days. And some of the people, they don't have the skills to work in agriculture. For instance, they cannot prune cocoa. Some of them can't even pick cocoa. They don't have the skills. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, let me try to educate that caller talking about the national dog. Grenada have 2 dog sanctuary. One in Perseverance, one in Manhattan. And no government coming power can touch the dog sanctuary. And another thing, Mr. Pierre, this kind of budget they say they run this. They don't agriculture and get nothing in it. That's why they may hit agriculture. They say nothing for agriculture. Nothing.
Yeah.
So give me number. Give
Yeah.
me number on the air.
Yeah.
417
Yes, caller.
I was listening in the parliament yesterday. I was at the Minister of Education. Accusing NMP of spreading the talk about in school. And Mr. Pay, it seemed like whenever Charles John did something, John Jones had to pay for the crime. Because GBN and the president of the Grenada Union Teachers that came out and started to speak about it. Because where we said that the teachers was in some meeting with
Workshop.
some people and
Yeah.
they get vexed about it and they came and they reported to him. When you listen to the Minister of Education yesterday, like he want to prosecute NMP for what the Greener Union Teachers President said and what GBN said, right? And everything that is they did wrong is NMP. Anything that NMP did that the well was government that's right is NDC that did it, right? So I ask myself a question: who in government, NMP or NDC? I know NDC won the election, but like it seems like NMP government because everything that going on now and that is taking place and is wrong, the NMP are getting the blame for it. So I always say to the Ghanaian people, you have to know people. Know people and who the people that come in front of you asking them to support them or vote for them. Because you see, when someone comes in front of you, you have no idea who they are, what they are stand for, what is their policy. If getting government, you have you cannot get a person your vote.
Thank you very, very much on that. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome. Yes,
Hello.
caller, welcome.
Yeah, on Tuesday, when the government was in West Education, when the guy in the union lie, he didn't say that.
Fine.
When that call you, right? When that caller call you, that come in and run on the government day, tell them that Keith Mitchell transformed Grenada from what it was. Keith Mitchell, he make the airport as it is. He didn't start it, but he bring it up to international standard. Hospital, roads, stadium, scholarship this government will send away. Huh? So when he come in and talk his stupidness, please, Mr. Pierre, he just polluting listeners, eh? And I don't know. Let him cut him off. Since he
dominate the radio and the NNP was sleeping. They was complacent and sleeping. So you can cut off the individual. The NNP need to wake up. Black Wizard said inside NDC or NNP, a number of individuals are jumping up for the National Democratic Congress. Every time the Congress come in power, they fire NNP planet. You remember the 3,000 Imanis? After the NDC fired those Imanis, change the terminology and employ a few. What did the government did in 2013? They employed 3,000 Imani. Yes, caller, welcome.
So much thing to talk about beside that. Mr. Pierre, the whole issue of the CBI program has been criticized so much when Kit Mitchell was in office in this country by the very people who use it more than any other economic strategy right now. So far, the report is presented by them And I'm not talking from a party perspective. I'm just talking from principle and policy. Program perspective. Citizen by investment. As to the extent that affects our population, as you might say it, I'm not sure, because I have no clear definition of what it amounts to as being a citizen by investment. What amount of rights you have, how equal it is to be a Grenadian, born Grenadian, and whatever. It is interesting to criticize the, and you know that as you say now, as you don't say it, the tongue tied. The people who used to criticize it openly on air, because I listen to radio programs, different radio programs, and I used to be hearing it all the time. You don't hear them saying anything nowadays, and they are benefiting from it more than anything else. But when keep in power, everything that these people would do, no, that was so criticized, is accepted. I'm yet to understand what was going on. But what is going on? What was going on at the time? Because it was so confusing. The hatred that these people have for Kit Mitchell, not for the policies, because the policies work. They're still benefiting from it. They are using the same policies. Basically, except when they implement new policies, they control Kit Mitchell. But that's what they use now to enable the country. They don't know. And benefiting from it too, and who spoil or do a lot of spoilage, you might say too. But the thing is that what Kit Mitchell put in place work. It's working still. They are benefiting from it.
Yes.
Take care, sir.
Yes, and I always say 3,000 Imani after 2010, he was who was using pit latrine. And go back and check the record. More scholarships than any other time in our history. The National Democratic Congress squandered the time they had in hibernation when they was in opposition. Rather than planning for the future, they sat down planning to make mischief. So you come in power and over 3,000 people lost their job. You come in power and even caregivers you victimizing. You come in power and the physically challenged begging on the radio. You come in power and you 150 is that this minimum wage that in NEC speak about is a sham, is a disguise. Agriculture workers are already working for more than $10 an hour. They spend about 3 hours in your land, you pay them $40 to $60. Some of them might be worse off in big organized farm, because organized farm that have the discipline going to pay them by the hour. So what the government do there is a sham. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome.
Back because
yeah, and you have to
yes,
that digging potato.
Joseph was in Parliament and she never addressed the issue. How you explain this type of thing? It was brought up in Parliament by the representative for the Labour. And I think if I remember, the one for agriculture brought it up. And up to this moment, Claudette spoke after them, and she never addressed the issue.
But you remember she's... Yeah. But she already...
It's amazing, man.
Yeah. Thank you. She already advised Grenadians that you're going to have irreparable damage to the economy. She said this government going to cause irreparable damage. That was the strongest sounding warning. And that's the last call for the day. Caller, you only have a few seconds. Punch.
Yes, Mr. Pierre. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
I agree with that last caller.
Good to hear your voice.
Big potato. It is a crying shame. We are all Grenadian citizens, aren't we? We are here. There is no green and yellow. We are one people. If the land is just Grenada, we are the people. We are in the land. So you have to do the thing that is right. Not you giving NDC job and NMP have to go and do the most liminal job. It's not fair. It's not fair. So Mr. Sebastian Steele, I support him 100%. Mr. Pierre, have a good day. God bless you.
Yes, my sister, you say we are Congress. I see them as 9 vultures, you know. When you hear people decide to pray, weaken your country. Jesus Christ called them disciples and others. He said, help orphans and widows. When you hear people disadvantaged, children, people in the lower income, the quality around them, as if it's a gallad, they lost the tongue. They are in the we're going to contribute to is more violence. We're going to contribute to is social decadence. And all we're going to contribute to is individuals challenging NDC individuals on the radio and on social media. That's why I constantly beg for tolerance. And we have to believe all of us in Grenada, irrespective of the disparaging remarks that are made by the NDC hierarchy and the Prime Minister of Grenada. We will thank you very much. We will be back with you tomorrow between 12 and 1 for another opportunity on Target.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
This is the even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping so I came